Hello, people. There's nobody there.
There's nobody there.
The news is on. Hello, the news is on. So, this is live, but I don't see anybody there.
Okay. If you tag me, you might see people. Shiny forehead. I'll be doing this all evening.
You'll be doing that all evening.
No. It will settle.
Mozilla.
Let me get water. Yeah? Can I?
Yeah. 16 seconds, 15 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, brother. Look at yourself. Get back. Yeah, brother, and brother. Oh, hey. Yeah, brother. Get back. Hello, that was the song is called Bronya, and it means whatever the day, whatever the time, we're having fun. Now, today is Wednesday, the 17th of October, and the topic is menopause. Now, it is true that men also go through some kind of pause, but I don't know if it is I don't know what kind of pause it is, but we're going to find out. However, it's menopause, and there could be female menopause and there could be male menopause, but it is menopause. My guest today is NAADU MENSAH. She's an author. She wrote the book called, what's the book?
Work Your Quirks.
Work Your Quirks. So people, Whenever I'm with her, I'm working my quirk. My quirk is absolutely worked. So whatever it is, yes, we're working our quirks. Now also, it's a kind of a feel-good book, and it's a book where it teaches you how to get on with life and how to get your act together, how to dress, how to have a positive view on the world. Yeah. This is a tough world out there. And for NAADU Lily, it's a quirk. So she's working it.
I'm working it.
And I'm working it too. So we're both working it. Now, Lily is also a life coach, and she wrote her very interesting blog. When she went through her menopause, she wrote a blog about the menopause. She did additional research. So today we're going to talk about the menopause, and we're going to talk also, the reason why I think it's a good subject is because for some people, they may have their mother, their grandma, their aunties to help them. But in this present day, there's a large swathe of women who do not have anyone to talk to. And when I've also got a quirk. It makes you feel like an alien. It makes you feel like things are going wrong, but you can't put your finger on it.
Yeah.
So today we have Lily, who is going to work this quirk with the menopause. Hello, Lily.
Hello, Candy. How are you?
I'm fine. Welcome to my show, the Kiki's Chat Show. I'm continually honored that you come on the show and come and say your funny things and serious things and, that sort of thing. My biggest question now is, what is menopause in the first instance?
In my view, and before we start, I'd like to say everything I'm going to say today is about my personal experiences, as well as some of the things that close friends and family have shared with me.
I just shared with her the alien bit. That's my input.
Yes. The menopause really is
people. The menopause is something that creeps up on you like a thief in the night. That's how I view it.
Yeah, it does.
People are not sure what's happening to them. Estrogen, as Lily said, is a chemical that is within your body.
Yeah, you produce that naturally as a woman.
Okay. Now, estrogen makes your skin supple. It oils your limbs. It makes you young and beautiful. Estrogen does. And when you start to lose that estrogen because you're getting less and less in your system, that means that your whole reproductive program is shutting down.
Yeah.
And when it's like that, that's when the menopause starts creeping in.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So when the menopause creeps in, what are the symptoms? How do you identify and know that, oh, this is menopause, not that I'm dying or anything?
Let's talk about the natural menopause, because some women have gone through early menopause for medical reasons. Early menopause because they've had chemo and stuff like that. But the natural menopause starts sort of late, mainly around in the UK. It's the proper menopause is around 51. But
the age of 51.
51 years.
Okay.
When you actually stop.
That's the natural one.
The natural one.
Okay.
But you could find that around 45, 46, you're getting a bit, things are not working, and you might be in a relationship and you're blaming your husband for everything. So if things are not going well in your own relationship, your children are probably teens and giving you teenage angst. So you might just think, oh, it's just family stuff.
Yeah.
Without realizing that there's an additional thing, underneath it.
Underlying issue.
Because you're having, your mood swings, you're not sleeping at night because you've got night sweats. And, in war, they use, or in war or interrogation, they use, lack of sleep. It's one of the weapons they use. If every night, as a woman, you're waking up about 3 to 10 times a night because your sheets are soaked, and then you have to get up and go to work, you have to get up and look after children, look after family, how are you supposed to cope and be happy all the time? So we don't put all those things together where we're just miserable just for the sake of it.
Mm-hmm.
And these are some of the symptoms. You start to feel your skin itching, things crawling on your skin. I haven't had that, but some of my good friends have had that, and it's made them, and you get, things like mental health associated with that.
Things crawling on your skin.
Yes, and you're the only one feeling it, so therefore you're going, is it me? Or you think you're crazy. People have said that. They've called their husbands and said, I think I'm going crazy. I can feel things, but nobody else can feel it. Yes, it has happened. Don't laugh.
I'm not laughing. I'm terrified. I am
happen.
absolutely terrified, because if you're having creepy crawlies, what I hate in my life is ants, spiders, creepy crawlies, and if I'm going to be imagining it that it's not happening, this is akin to madness.
Yes.
I'm going to be jumping out of my skin all the time.
So the mental health issues attached to the menopause that we don't actually talk about because it's embarrassing. When I started just talking about the menopause, people would almost, oh God, it's that woman again. Is that the people who think that you're this person that is, you're everything that you have to offer in life is nearly over, and you're this shriveled up, witch who's just always sweating and going into meetings with a fan like I have right now. And
she's got a fan.
I have a fan. It's over here. It's scary. Absolutely scary. If you do not put 2 and 2 together, you will be scared out of your skin. Hi everybody.
You will be. Okay, so you got the creepy crawlies. You've got. So this is menopause. This is the pre-menopausal, perimenopausal.
Yeah.
And then we have the what?
When you stop your periods.
Okay.
And
so these creepy crawlies, you still have your periods and it's crawling on you.
So you don't think that it's the menopause unless people like that. People are listening to programs like this, so they might be having that and thinking something else is wrong. But it could be the menopause they're going through. And unless you go to the doctors and have a blood test to check and see if your levels of estrogen have gone down, then the doctor will ask you, what was the last time you had your full period? Was it a regular 5-day one? And so on. Then the 2 + 2 will become 4 rather than 3.5 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is before the period stops. You're having little symptoms like creepy crawlies. You're feeling tired.
Very tired.
You are irritated by things, especially partner or whoever is in the line of fire. Basically.
Yes, everybody. I've been known to have full-on arguments with strangers when I was in the thick of it.
Wow.
Yes, and that is not like me.
Full-on argument.
Yeah, with a man on the road.
Okay, so that is the pre. Now there is the unnatural menopause. That's when people have operations or they have
hysterectomy, yeah, and stuff like that.
And when you have the hysterectomy, do you then, is it different? Is the menopause different from how?
I'm not an expert in that, but I assume that because your womb would have been taken out, reproduction would also have stopped.
Yeah.
And therefore, the menopause starts because you're not having your periods anymore.
Okay.
I'm assuming that.
So that's also the thing about menopause, I find, with people, chatting with people and talking with people, is that every human, especially women, of course, because it's more biological, mixed with chemical, but it's more biological. You kind of feel as if, oh, this is the end. Once I cannot reproduce, I'm growing old, I'm creaking, and my life is kind of ebbing away.
I think that's what people used to think once upon a time, but things have changed. I'm not giving up. I think my life has only just started.
You're a life coach.
Well, yes, but I've also had good experiences. I've spoken to a lot of people, and for us, those of us who've stopped worrying about having babies and started to, kids have left home, and this is our time, and I'm going to make sure that I enjoy that time, and no menopause or whatever is going to stop that. And I want to encourage people to feel that menopause or no menopause, we have a life to lead. This is our time to enjoy ourselves, and come, let's play. Let's play together.
Okay, now we will talk about play. I'm watching the time, so there will be play. But the serious part of menopause, the one that upsets people, the part that makes people uncomfortable, apart from being irritable, which everyone knows because menopause does that to you. I mean, what are the conditions? For example, if you feel that things are crawling on you and you realize it's not an ant, it's not a spider, it's not, but this is a menopause, what do you do?
You can start the natural way that a lot of people start with, going on a diet, looking at what they eat. At one point, I spent a lot of money in Holland and Barrett. I think I've even bumped into you there before.
And given me a cream.
Yes.
I remember that.
Because that's all I knew to go the natural way. And I did that. I went to the gym. I mean, I still go to the gym. But, soya products are, soya high.
Are they good?
Yes.
Soy products.
Soya products are very, very good for the menopause or to increase your estrogen level.
Okay.
So find things that, there's so many things on the market that can increase your estrogen level. But sometimes that in itself is not enough.
Okay.
So I've done that, done the weight loss thing of eating grass for breakfast, grass for lunch.
You mean salad?
Salad, yeah. Okay. That's what I call it.
So, so you eat healthy food.
Yeah.
You try and monitor your diet, really.
Yes. And exercise. Exercise is one very good thing that helps. One other thing I didn't mention was something called brain fog.
Oh, yes.
You get confused very easily and forget things.
Yeah.
And I find that exercise or cardio, boxing, running helps to clear my head when I'm feeling a bit foggy and a bit weird. So exercise and a lot of cardio, but weight training is also very good because it pushes your body for you to feel relevant and
So
stronger.
What about the people who can't afford going to the gym? They haven't got time. They're working. They have children in university, so they've got to keep up with the money demands and everything else. Single mothers, for example, and you're saying go to the gym. They can't go to the gym. They can't afford it. They haven't got time.
If you have a pair of trainers, running shoes, that's your gym.
Run when you get home. Run before you go to work.
Run before I've done 20 minutes this morning. That was all the time that would allow me this morning. So I just put my trainers on, run around the block for 20 minutes.
You do all these things, but I'm more interested for Mrs. Block.
Well, anything that will raise your heart level a little bit and put some sweat, there, and will help you feel better, first of all. And it, for me, definitely clears my mind. I feel I've actually achieved something in the morning before I actually get out and go on the train and start shoving people.
Shoving people?
Yeah, because I need my space. People. I need my space to sort of, when the menopause, what happens is that your internal thermostat is on the blink.
So you are hot on heat all the time?
No, and then you cool down as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so you're very hot 1 minute and the next minute you cool down. So you do this thing I call the dance of on and off. So it's about layering all the time, and then you take your
taking them off.
On and off and on and off, dancing all the time on the train.
Right. Now, there are other issues as well. You see, people get menopause from the age of like 35 because I was having a discussion with somebody and they said that they were chatting with someone and the woman said that she got her menopause at the age of 35.
Yeah.
Which then she wasn't married. She hadn't yet married. She didn't know what was happening to her.
Yeah.
And when it was diagnosed as menopause, she wasn't sure why her, because she wasn't old enough.
Yeah.
And then since then it hasn't allowed her to have children and all of that.
That's sad.
Yeah. So how do people, this is sad, but how do you get over it? You're a life coach. How would one address such a drastic and terrible catastrophe that can happen to you?
I mean, it depends on her own circumstances. If she cannot, there are a lot of people who, not even menopause, but they're not producing enough eggs and therefore cannot get pregnant. So finding different ways. If she wants a baby, she has to find a different way to either adopt or do other, but that's the medical side of it. But it's having that positive. Find what you want and find the positive in life, and asking other people to help you, to support, and not necessarily going for the people who say, "Oh, poor you," but people who will work with you to reach your goal.
One of the things about menopause I find is that for those who have someone in their lives who can say, "Oh, I think it's menopause, this is what you do." My aunties, for example, they are very intent on having yam.
Yes.
Now, yam is a very good, it aids you in lessening the symptoms of menopause.
Yes,
and
I've heard that.
Yeah, I know it. It's a fact, and it helps a lot. There's wild yam that they have that comes from Brazil and all those places if you're in the UK or America. And then there's yam. We have different types of yam. There is a yam from the north of Ghana called lariboko. It's supposed to be very good.
Okay.
It's a kind of a sweet type of yam, and you can eat it with things. You can eat it with soup. You can eat it with stews, peppers, spinach. And it's really healthy if you eat it with the spinach and all of those.
Yes, greens.
Yeah, greens. Yeah.
Okra.
So
okra is very good as well.
The other thing also that I also find in chatting with my aunties, etc., and everything I know about being female is from my support group, aunties, cousins, yes, and the children of my grandmother, yes. And it's because they say these things quite easily. It's not a secret. It doesn't stop you. There are positives if you reach that point.
Yeah.
So I think people need to talk to people. People need to open up, and it's not a secret. Don't feel like your life has ended, because I think human beings, especially us women, we go through stages in our lives.
Yes.
And, the childbearing time can go.
Yeah.
But now this is the fun time.
Second spring.
Yes. And so I know people who get upset about this and they kind of suffer it. and they are stoic about it because they don't want to tell anyone.
It's I don't think generally people talk about it, but I'm very open about a lot of things, and this is something that when I'm in a meeting and I suddenly have this, I call them power surges. I just excuse myself, have a cup of water, or just leave the room and go and compose myself and come back. Or I take a fan with me everywhere I go. And about 3 or 4 weeks ago, one of the young ladies came back from holiday and she said, "Oh, Lily, guess what I got you?" And she bought me a fan.
Okay.
So,
Can I just demonstrate the fan? There is the fan. Fan is here. It is being flapped. The fan. She never leaves this fan. Actually,
I don't leave home without my fan.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I can't keep the camera on her because there's nobody here to do it. So yeah, carry on.
So it's about being open about what's going on. I mean, within reason. I just say to people, I have this saying called, it starts with men and finishes with a pause. And everybody goes, those who want to listen, listen. Those who want to hide under their desk, hide under their desk. But everybody knows that Lily is going through the menopause, and therefore, I don't think...
Well, even the men know that you're going through the menopause.
Yeah. Why?
Lily doesn't hide anything.
Well, so that when, I have to take time off and go and do things, I have to get out, step out of a meeting.
Yeah.
It's because I'm having a hot flash and I'm not able to contain it because it doesn't give you any
prior warning.
No warning. It just, it just
the
happens.
heat. She's talking about the heat.
And it starts from your neck up.
Oh, does it?
Oh yeah. It's not the whole body. It's just from your neck up. So all of a sudden it starts to rise. And all you see is this red face. And you can just feel it coming up. Within 2 seconds, your face is just drenched. So the fan is just normally just on my face rather than my whole body. So that's what the menopause is, my dear.
Wow. The menopause has different effects on people. And so now we're going to talk about the sexual part of it, because that's also, I mean, being a woman, there is sex involved. And so we're going to talk about that part. When I'm going to play a bit of music, just a little bit of music, because we've got to come back and talk about this. This is a very serious topic. So I am playing, what shall I play? Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Yeah, I mean, this guy, I'll play a little bit of that.
Brother, many a day, fuck, yeah. My Jumaju and the Friday. Me a Kumasi Bama, me Jimmy and no complain.
Look, can you see yourself? Do you want to read this out? Do you?
Bring them on camera.
Yep, that was called Brother Brother. I like that song. I played
nice.
it twice. Yeah, it's really nice. Okay, now we're going to talk about all of the symptoms and then hang on to one part that a lot of people want to talk about.
Oh, really?
So I'm going to just read out quickly all of the symptoms of menopause, and these are the common symptoms. Of course, first of all, after I've read all the symptoms, please, if you have one or two, if you are over the age of 45, between 45 and 55, please go to the GP. Go to the GP, talk to him, say, you listen to this program, you think what you've got is the menopausal symptoms, you will have a blood test. Now, the symptoms are irregular or skipped periods, insomnia, you cannot sleep, mood swings, you are becoming badly behaved, you are fighting with your children, your husband, your partner, your mother, your father, whoever's nearest and dearest. You have fatigue, you're tired all the time. You feel depressed. Now, this depression issue is because when things are happening to you and you don't know why, you become sad, and it can escalate into other things. So I think that is also an alarm bell. If you're feeling so tired, you can't sleep, this is that, and therefore you become sad and miserable, and please see the GP, have that blood test. You are irritable. That is also behaving badly. See the GP. Your heart is racing. Now, there are people who have racing hearts. Their hearts, suddenly they are, that feeling of being scared all the time. Now you can hear it. You can feel your heart misbehaving a little bit. Please see the GP, because it is not a heart attack. It could just be a simple thing and I'm not saying menopause is simple, because it's a whole process. However, it could be that and not a heart attack. So don't frighten yourself and, get all worked up, because you know that. Also, you have headaches. Now, there are people who've never had headaches. Some people have headaches. They have migraines of different types and that. But the menopause gives you this heavy head. And it stays with you longer than normal headache. And through the headache, you're irritable, you don't want to open your eye, please see the GP, have that blood test. Your joints and muscles ache. Now, let me tell you, this thing, it happens, your knees will go. Your knee hurts, your ankles hurt. Now, there is something called plantar fasciitis, which also, yes, it happens because your ankle, it doesn't stay down. It hurts so much. It's like there is a sore in your foot. Some people, it is a symptom of menopause.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you have it, if you are, anyone who's listening now, if you're feeling all of these things, or one or two, go and have that blood test. Now, it then brings us into changes in your sex drive.
Yes.
Also, because the changes can come because now having sex can be painful, and it can, so you don't want to do it, and you're irritated by many things, and and then things are not working well down there. It's so dry that you don't want any entry of any type.
You don't even want
people to touch you.
No, you don't want anybody to.
In fact, you've just brought it. Somebody, one of her biggest problems with her husband, they nearly had a divorce, was because sweaty palms. And
you get clammy.
Yeah. And so either of them couldn't deal with that kind of clammy hand, blah blah. And every time he touched her, she felt he was creating the clamminess.
Oh. Yes,
until she was told that that's not what it was. It's actually her being hot and bothered and stressed. Every time he touched her, it then,
She was overheating.
Yeah, she was overheating.
I told you the thermostat was
overheats, yeah.
So everything overheats.
And then there is another one, and ladies, do not be embarrassed. It is bladder control problems. Now, when you're having these things, all sorts of things, when you're having all these symptoms, one of the things also that happens is bladder control. I was reading about it. Look, As a woman, you've had children, you haven't had children. Whatever it is, your body is wired in a different way from men. So different things happen to you. I advise you, and I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart, it is not embarrassing to go into Boots, Superdrug, chemist or anything, buy these panty liners and use them. And every time you have a bath, you dress up, you add the panty liner, just so that little leakages, coughing, laughing, and all of these things do not embarrass you when you get up, your clothes are wet. No. You are at that time where these things will happen. So don't be embarrassed. It's just another way of getting on with it. You see, when they say get on with it, these are the things.
I think it's about arming yourself with the knowledge of what could and could not happen.
Indeed.
And then finding ways to make sure that, it doesn't, the menopause that does not make your life miserable.
No.
It is there, you get to grips with it, and then you find ways of enjoying yourself and continuing to have a full life.
Yes. Now, Lily is going to tell us about the sex part.
Am I?
Yes.
Oh.
What you wrote in the blog, you're going to share with us how, because people need to know that you can, that song, always look on the bright side of life.
Yeah.
There are some women who, after the menopause, their libido then increases, and they want sex all the time. Now, if you are that sort of woman, don't be ashamed. This is the world of realization.
Yes.
Have sex.
I think also when the children have left home,
You are free.
you're free, because having sex when the children are at home can be a little bit difficult. If you're in a two up, two down house. So, but when the kids leave home and it's just you and your partner, the world is your oyster.
Indeed.
So experiment.
Indeed. Experiment. Be bold. Say things like, oh, let's try this. We all have all sorts of things in our heads. If you're the type who, you didn't say it before. Now, one thing, though, is when you are producing or in the reproductive zone, you try and cut down on the sex, because you don't want to get pregnant. This is not the time. We have 3 kids already. Blah, blah, blah. Now you are not, my dears. If you are not, and you are actually getting into the menopausal world, please, this is your freedom.
But then what will stop you is that the pain happens because you're not producing enough natural lubrication.
So what do you do then?
You find lubes.
Well, so you go to the
A
chemist.
lot of okra.
Oh my God.
Okra is, no, seriously.
Some people don't like okra.
Well, okra is a natural
Lube
lubricant.
creator.
Yes.
Okay. So if you don't like okra, but you are keen to have some action, go to the chemist, buy all these. They're new, apart from KY gel, they're new
New things.
fangled creams, gels, and you in fact, some taste like strawberries.
Yeah.
Some are raspberries. In fact, the other day somebody said the chocolate gin. Yes, there's the champagne.
Oh la la.
So people, what people don't realize is, if you believe in God, maybe God had a plan, and He said the woman will produce sometime to sometime. Then from here, I am allowing you to have fun. However, society has created it that women are then made to feel like they're old, they're up on the heap. The men would rather have the fun with younger people, and the fine lady who is now ripe and ready for action with no repercussion doesn't have any action. My people, the world has changed. If the world hasn't changed for you, you don't think so, I'm telling you it. Start. Do something. Enjoy your life before you die.
Indeed.
Because none of us are getting out here alive, are we?
No, we're not.
Tell them more.
So tell them, what more can I tell
Well,
you?
then tell them what you do. You know, all the things that you did.
Well, basically, I have. You put me on the spot now because
No, I haven't.
writing a blog is easy because you've written it, put it out there, and people can go and read it. But now that I have to talk about it, I'm feeling a bit, a little bit hot and bothered.
Nobody can see you.
Nobody can see me. Nobody can hear me. But basically, it's about understanding your body, the things that work for you, and you have a partner that is also keen. That helps a lot. And understanding a partner who, when you say today, baby, I'm not feeling it, they'll let you be. But most of the time, they will help you. They'll help you with the finding what works for the two of you, because if you're in a long-term relationship with somebody, they also want to enjoy your time with them. It's not about when you were younger and it was one bam and it's gone. People actually want both of you to enjoy that time that you spend together. So finding lubricants, finding positions that work for you, because not every position will work for you, because if you're in pain, then there's certain positions that will be too much for you. Take it easy, because eventually it gets better.
So she's saying change positions, experiment with positions.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned HRT. Now,
Yes.
HRT is something which at the moment people are a little bit wary of. People have taken HRT in the past.
Yeah.
But people are wary of HRT now because it's saying it causes cancer, underlying cancer issues, and all of that. If you are scared of HRT, don't worry at all. Just go to the doctor and have a chat so that you can find something. There are different things on the market at the moment, in the medical world market. So you can try other things as well. And I think that if you shouldn't cut yourself down. You see, sex is a mental. What women you do not know is, if you tell yourself that I am old, I am going through menopause, I cannot function, will not function, I cannot, I will not, I do not, then you will not.
Yeah.
And that is not good for yourself, because then other things happen, and men are not wired that way. So you have to find ways. You see, in the olden days, they used to say women who were sexual and they knew their bodies and they worked with the rhythms of their bodies were witches. Find your inner witch, my ladies.
Yes. I would say, find your inner goddess.
Goddess.
Find your inner goddess.
I like witch.
I prefer goddess.
Okay, fine. Do whatever.
But let's talk about HRT.
Yeah, HRT.
I decided not to do HRT 5 years ago when I had my last period, because I was doing fine without it. And then not too long ago, I thought, you know what? These hot flashes are coming back and they're getting on my... So I went back to the doctor.
Okay.
5 years ago, they were not recommending it because of the cancer threat.
Yes.
New research has come onto the market that suggests that it's not as bad as they thought.
Okay.
So now they are actually adding HRT, or if you wanted, they talk about various options. They have gels, they have things. I have a patch on. That is a combination of estrogen and progesterone, I think that's the word.
Okay.
Which is a combination, and it works with your body, and it is actually replenishing what you've already lost.
Okay.
So maybe if you don't have energy, it might increase your energy, and so on and so forth. So it's worth looking into it. People with heart conditions go to the doctor and get prescribed. Diabetics go to the doctor and get prescribed. Why are we as women so want to use, do not want to try what modern medicine can do for us? But that's my personal view. I did not go straight in. I gave myself 5 years before I went that route. But it will come a time that you have to make a personal choice as to what is going to work for you.
You seem to be a very tuned in goddess.
Well, I don't really have the hot flashes as much. This studio is hot.
Yeah, very hot. I must say the studio is very hot.
Studio is very hot, but my hot flashes are, I'm not walking about worried that I will go from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen to me anymore because my body is getting help.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the HRT is an option worth considering, but that's my personal view.
Yeah, she's got HRT. She's tried it. It's worked for her. HRT is very good. If you you can do the, and also you see, ladies, do not allow the doctor to dictate things to you. You have to do research. You have to check yourself. All of these symptoms that we outline now, they are not one woman has all of them.
No.
People have different things. People have all sorts of things.
They lose their hair.
Yeah, they thin. Their hair will thin.
Well, some people
And then
lose
it
all of
breaks.
it, yeah.
Yeah, and all of that. And that may be the only thing that they will have. So it depends. If your mother is alive, your grandmother, auntie or something, you can ask them. And if they tell you, then you know that in my line, this is what we get. Or, which is also very helpful. And trust me, a lot of my life experiences are handed down generations. Grandma said this, great-grandma said this, mother said this, auntie said this. So that's me. And I think that's auntie over here. And so she's sharing it with you. And I think it is necessary that we share things amongst ourselves so that we know that you're not dying. And look, if you, at the age of 50, you start having all these hormonal imbalances and all of these things happening to you, and you give up and think, oh, I'm old, and then you die at the age of 80, are you telling me that 30 solid years of your life has been just wasted?
That's a shame.
That would be terrible. And you know what, people? It gives you a new lease of life.
Yes.
When you're entering into the menopausal life, trust me, new things will happen to you if you embrace it. Isn't that so?
Absolutely. I think even workplaces are now beginning to talk about menopause-friendly organizations, because they realize that people are retiring later.
Mm-hmm.
People are coming back into the workforce, haven't had children, and therefore they will have a lot more people being going through their menopause whilst they're working. So they have to find various ways of holding on to good staff, and part of that is to have that menopause friendly organizations where there's some organizations that you can't have, it's either too cold or too hot in the office. They should have a facility where if somebody has that temperature control issue, they should have the flexibility of turning up the dial or turning down the dial. I mean, this is one simple thing that can be done.
Yeah. Somebody's written something here. Some women stay on HRT after the menopause and it keeps their body balance with the right hormones.
Yeah.
Now, that is true.
It's a personal choice.
It's choices. Now, we have to look after ourselves. I cannot tell you what to do, right? You have to look after yourself. Therefore, in situations like this, you have to start listening to your body and deciding what is best for you and then doing it.
Yeah.
But you need the help of the GP. There is a blood test that is given to all women, and you go and have it.
I think they give you, some people call it an MOT, and at 50, I think you can just walk in and demand one.
Yeah, you can ask for one.
Yeah.
If you don't ask for it, you will not get. But if you ask for it, you have a chat with your GP. He will send you with a slip to the blood place, phlebotomist, and then that's a word I like. And then the phlebotomist will check you out, and you will get a reply to your doctor, and your doctor will come and say, you need vitamin B, you need vitamin this, you need this and that, and you need estrogen, you need this. And so whatever it is that you need will be sorted out, especially when you're in the Western world.
Yes, and
Yeah.
we must, when we speak to the doctor, let's not just keep a little, tell him just enough because we're embarrassed. We should
Yeah.
be open,
Yeah.
because the doctor doesn't know our body as much as we do, and they've got 10 minutes with which to sort it all out.
Yeah.
So go prepared with a list, write a list, and then they write a list of the issues that you have, so that they can advise you properly, rather than you going and saying, oh, I can't sleep, or oh, I'm feeling tired. You should write a list, do a little journal of, say, the 2 weeks prior to you going to see the doctor, about the things that are happening to you. And then you go armed with the information. That's when they can help you more, rather than you going and hoping that the doctor would just get you a patch to go away and be, because the patch might not be what you actually need there and then. So doctors are not magicians.
They need to know.
They need to know what's going on with you. Then you need to tell them.
Okay. There's another thing also which I forgot to mention is when you are having all of these issues, if you do not, if you don't, especially the partner, if the partner doesn't understand what's going on,
Yeah.
it can wreck your relationship.
Yes.
So it's very necessary. Did you people know that Lily calls her partner Mr. Wapi?
Wapi.
Now, what is the meaning of Wapi, please?
Oh, in Ghana, it's that sweet thing that you eat. I mean,
The condensed milk toffee.
yes, that is so nice. It hits and you
Sweet.
eat it and you go, Yes, that's my wapi.
Lily's man is Mr. Wapi because he tastes like condensed milk toffee. And for Lily, her menopause has brought new and wonderful experiences into their lives. I advise you all to.
It's about talking and understanding, I think. Yeah. And then you'll be having wapi long into your 70s and 80s.
Yeah, there are people who are like that. You people, look, sex can make your skin beautiful.
Yes.
Look, human beings are wired to be loved.
Yes.
And women especially, you need love. There are different types of love, and women need the beautiful love where somebody appreciates you and somebody, and all of these things. Now, when you're healthy, when you're in love, when life is good, it makes you beautiful.
Even when you're not feeling well as a person, if you know that,
Somebody loves you.
Somebody loves you and cares for you, it will aid your recovery, I think, personally.
Yeah. Well, there you are. There's a beautiful lady here. I'm going to show you her photo again. And she is loved. She is with Mr. Wapi. There she is.
People.
So, this is one of the things that we constantly, and the reason for this show is for us to learn things about ourselves, help each other, women, young girls, older women, whatever. For us in our community to help each other. Menopause can be tough in the beginning when you're realizing that you're moving into the next phase of your life. But remember, you were a young girl, then you became a teenager, then you became maybe a mother, a wife, a this, a that, and now you are a free agent.
Free.
You do not have all the worries, the getting pregnant, the periods, the looking for a Tampax or a pad, or any of these things which have actually held you back. As in classrooms, when you are having a period and you sit on a chair and there's blood everywhere, none of that. People, we have 2 minutes to go. I want to say bye-bye. I want to thank Lily for coming along.
Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure to have you. I want to say thank you so much that we've kind of, chatted about as much as we can.
Yeah.
I'm saying bye-bye on the radio because we can still chat a little bit on 4 or 5 more minutes on Facebook.
Yes, we can.
So you can tell them the bits that you didn't want to say on radio.
Okay, like okay, let's look at my blog.
Yeah, look at your blog. She wrote a blog, you see. And in it, she was very open and didn't hold back.
Full frontal.
Yeah. So you can tell them the sex part because they want to know.
Okay. Right. Are we done on the radio?
Yeah, we are. The radio.
Okay.
The radio, in a few seconds, will give the news, and that will be it.
Okay. Where were I mean, about the patch, when I got it, I had a few problems.
Yeah. What were the problems with the patch?
My breasts became double size.
Oh, it grew bigger.
It grew bigger.
Hey,
Mr.
all these people who want small boobs, if you put the patch on, your boobs just explode, I hear.
Mr. Wapi doesn't want the boobs to go.
Oh, why?
Because he wants to keep it. Yeah, so.
This girl.
Okay.
Yeah, carry on.
But what happened was that
Hi, Dawn.
because it was suddenly, and I didn't know how to manage. So I was running with ill-fitting bras, and I would come home and all that friction. So I didn't allow Mr. Happy to touch.
Your inflated boobs.
No, for a while.
Oh, come on.
No, but again, I explained to him what was happening. That things are changing, and until it settled, there was no touching. And these were some of the troubles, but it wasn't a long-term thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, you look at the fact that whilst I was getting the hot sweats, I wasn't getting those anymore. So that meant I was sleeping a lot better. And things got even better.
Okay.
In terms of me being able to do more, be more athletic in the things that we're trying out, and what have you.
People, they were doing athletic things.
Why do you think I go to the gym and try and keep fit all the time? Well, it's not just that. I want to feel in control of my body. It is mine, and I want to love it so much that, of course, that means somebody else who's loving it will love it too.
I'm going to put the blog information on YouTube. I'm also going to put it on Facebook on my page. So if you want to read her blog, you will, because it is quite salacious in parts. But I think it's good because it just, the whole story of having the situation, looking at it as it is. Somebody said women should deal with this shit. And I agree,
That's
deal
exactly
with
what we're doing.
Yeah, deal with it. Deal with it in such a way that you can identify that this is what's happening to me. Doctor, have you got any suggestions? Doctor gives you suggestions. You find your own, add it to it. You as a full-blown woman, you've gone through experiences, and this is an additional one. It doesn't end. It doesn't end.
I mean,
The struggle is real.
my thing is that the menopause should not define you.
It shouldn't define you.
Yeah.
Shouldn't hold you back.
No,
We have 2 more minutes.
We should do more.
Yeah. So I think it is very necessary that whilst you are in your women, you see, don't let other people tell you that you're old. Don't let other people tell you that because of your age you should stop what you're doing. If you feel the need to carry on, do. If you feel you have the strength to carry on, do. To get the strength to carry on, you have to overcome the aches and pains, the insomnia, the dry vagina, the bladder control, all of these things. One thing I wanted to tell you also was, if you are in America or the UK or anywhere in the Western world, you can ask your doctor if you can have the injection into your bladder there is this thing that you have an injection, and it strengthens your bladder, and you don't have to have leaks anymore. So that's also another thing that people don't really know about. I'm telling you, it's possible. So no more leaks and no more panty liners or anything. There are things that you can do. And it is all within your power. NHS does them. It's not private medicine or anything,
no.
so you can have it done. So yeah, I mean, there are things that you can do, and you can carry on with your life. And some people feel that like they are 25-year-olds, you know, when they overcome all of this.
And can I just finally say that this year alone,
Mm-hmm.
because of my interest in improving me, improving NAADU MENSAH,
Mm-hmm.
I've run 3 10Ks.
She's done. Oh, I meant to say that this woman in front of me here, and I will show you her again. She overcame her menopause.
Hello.
She then ran 3 marathons. One of them, she left me at
Westminster.
Westminster on my own. Run off and went. And I was miserable, and I put it on a blog.
Yes.
Yeah, a vlog. So she runs marathons. She does also for charity. And she's doing things that she didn't do in her youth. And
Do you remember morning trotting?
yes.
How we used to cry.
Yes. And I used to lie on the floor and have a fit.
No.
When I think about those days, and now I have to go to the gym or something, I'm like, oh God, what is this? I have these chances. People, I have to go now. We have to leave now because she's got to catch a train and I've got to get home because I've been up since, I don't know when, 6 o'clock this morning. So we've enjoyed your company. Thank you so much for being with us. Here's Lily. Say your bye-byes.
Bye-bye, everyone. And whatever you do, stay fabulous and don't give up because your life is not over.
Your life is definitely not over. Thank you very much. Hey, Stella. Hi. Thanks for watching. We're now going to press stop. And